Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another episode of Pickups. I'm just going to sort of adjust this because it's a little bit all over the place. So yeah, welcome back to another episode of Pickups. Today I've got some like DVDs, move some bottles of water out of the way, Master System, 3DS, Mega Drive, and I have to say an absolute fuck ton of Atari 2600 cartridges. I kind of went a bit apeshit on Atari, if I'm being honest, and I've been picking up everything that I've been seeing, all eBay stuff, you know, and the way I'm doing Atari is I'm sort of just picking up bundles. That's kind of what I'm picking up. So, you know, I'm going to have the odd Atari games up for trade or sale or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm doing it at the moment. So to begin with, we're going to start with a CD that I picked up, Phantom Blue. This is their debut album that they released back in 1989, same year as the Batman film. But yeah, I don't know why that's relevant, I just thought I'd throw that in there. So yeah, Phantom Blue, I picked this up off of eBay. These are not cheap. I really like the band, I think they're fantastic. Built to Perform was their album that is probably the most well-known one and the one that's easiest to get, but even then that still demands quite a lot of money. This one set me back about £25. The seller on eBay was wanting 50 initially, but I put in an offer, cheeky offer of 25, and he accepted it, which is a pretty good price for it, to be fair, because it kind of goes for more. So I have a feeling it's been on eBay for quite a while. It's really good. It's a lot heavier than their Built to Perform album, but yeah, quality pickup to get. And I'm trying to get a whole set of their releases, but again, extremely hard to do. So yeah, Phantom Blue. If you don't know them, go check them out. If you can, check them out on YouTube. It's probably about the only way you're going to be able to get them now. You can get the vinyls for a bit cheaper, but of course, if you know, playing them on the go or whatever in cars and shit, so that's kind of how I like to have them. Right, moving on to, as soon as I adjust everything, DVDs. So I have got quite a few DVDs. Well, I'll say quite a few, 3. Not bad for me, to be fair. First up is an eBay pickup. It's Crossroads. I was watching a thing on Facebook. A guy posted out a clip of one of like a guitar battle in this film, and I thought it was really, really cool. So I just decided just to pick it up. Cannot remember the guitarist that's in this. For whatever reason, that's just completely slipped out of my head. See if I can find it on the back. No, which is a shame. But yeah, the guitarist in this who actually wrote the guitar for that guitar battle, he's awesome. I just cannot remember his name for the life of me. Hopefully it'll come back to me during the video. But anyway, yeah, Crossroads, never seen it. It looked alright, so I figured I'd check that one out. Next is the ever awesome Power Rangers, because you just have to. I kind of want to see this in cinema, actually. I don't know, the whole storyline, they sort of inherit these powers, which is kind of what happened in the TV series. But it's like superpower. It's like they're like superheroes, really, in this film. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what it's like. I haven't had it long. I just sort of picked it up recently, but I know it's got Bryan Cranston in it, Zordon. Got to love a bit of Bryan Cranston. So Power Rangers, yeah, I am definitely looking forward to checking it out. I was a massive fan of Power Rangers back in the day, but the original TV series, way back in the early 90s, was my favourite. So, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out. I even checked out the film from 95, so 94, 95 that came out. I actually went to cinema to see that with my mum. She just sat there bored out of her skull, but I fucking loved it. So yeah, but I haven't seen the Turbo Power Rangers movie. Haven't seen that one. I have it, just haven't seen it. But yeah, definitely looking forward to checking that one out. And last film on Blu-ray, we went into cinema to check this out, and I was actually quite surprised at how good it was, and that is the Belko Experiment. This is a really good film. I like films that have like a minimal setting, minimal cast. I absolutely adore those kinds of films. However, this has got quite a massive cast, but it's set in an office block, and they cannot get out of this office block, and it's fucking brilliant, and it's really, really good. It's a bit like the twist on like the Saw films towards the end of the film. You kind of get that sense of it, and there's a bit of a twist in it as well. But if you've seen this film in the cinema, you'll know how good it is. It's a very decent film, and I'm really happy to have it. And we kind of just, it wasn't in the cinema for very long. We just went along to the cinema and we just decided one day, right, we want to see a film. This one was there, so we thought, fuck it, we'll go and see it. It was a late night showing. And yeah, we came away quite surprised at how good it was. So really pleased to get this in the collection, so that's great. So I'm going to watch that again. And that is all the DVDs and Blu-rays, I think, unless there's one sort of lurking in the pile. So not bad. Right, moving on. I got a Mega Drive off of Gumtree. I have it sat in this big box next to me, but because I'm like sort of limited to space, I'm not going to pull it out. But it's just the Mega Drive Model 1, loose with, you know, the controllers. I think it's got about 3 or 4 controllers, 2 third-party 6-button controllers, and all the leads and stuff. It came with a bunch of games, which are all loose cart and they're not in very good condition, like Sonic 2, what else is there? Toe Jam and Earl, Panic on Funktron, those kind of games. I kept 2 out of that lot because I didn't have them. And first, that one, it's loose cart, is Decap Attack. I've heard this is supposed to be a really good game. I've never played it. I have no idea about the game at all. I've just heard that whenever it's been mentioned, people have said it's really, really good. So I'm looking forward to checking that one out. And the last one that I kept out of that was this one. It's a Sega Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog. Not for resale. I like the Sega Genesis. I like picking up the Genesis cartridges when I see them. That was in the lot, so I thought, fuck it, why not? She was advertising it as Sonic Genesis, and I was like, okay, that's kind of curious. But of course, it dawned on me when I was driving over, oh, it's Sonic 1 for the Genesis, because the photo wasn't very, very good. But, yeah, so those 2. So the lot altogether came to £35. That's the only 2 games I'm keeping out of it. So I will probably... I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it on my Facebook page. So if you guys want to check it out, check me out on Facebook, link below, and you'll see the Mega Drive there. I'll put it up after this video, so it'll probably be like a couple of days after this video goes up. So go along and check that out if you get a chance. So that's cool. And if you guys are interested in it, maybe we can work out a trade or something. That would be awesome. But I'll do that on my Facebook, so go and check that out. Right, moving on to PlayStation 4. I've got a few PlayStation 4 games here, actually. 4 for the PS4. So yeah. So first up, I mentioned this game in my last pickups video, and that was because I wanted to complete the set kind of thing. I now have done that. It's Resident Evil 6. Really happy to get this one in the collection. It's the worst Resident Evil game I've played. I played it on PS3 and I absolutely hated it. I thought it was so dull and boring, so I decided I was done with it. So what I'm going to do is, like the same with Resident Evil 5, and I'm going to blast through this one once I complete Resident Evil 5. I'm currently playing through it at the moment. And yeah, this has got all the maps and multiplayer DLC. Not too bothered about the multiplayer stuff, to be fair, but it's nice to have everything in one package, so that's awesome. That cost about $18.99, something like that, off of eBay. Next up we have Outlast Trinity. You know, I need to say no more. The Outlast games are really, really good. I loved the first one. I loved that horror element to it. I just loved the creepiness to it all. It was fucking brilliant. And Outlast Whistleblower is different, but it's still really, really good. I can remember playing that back when it was out on PS4 and fucking loved it, so it was really good. And of course I've now deleted them just so I can get this sort of booted up. But I've not played Outlast 2, so definitely looking forward to checking that one out. I got that for $23.99 off of eBay. Brand new and sealed, so that's cool. And yeah, really happy to have that one. So, Outlast Trinity. Next, I got one off of Zavi. I actually put in a couple of pre-orders for Evil Within 2 and what else is it? I put in a pre-order for something else. It's supposed to be out in October, November time. Oh, I can't remember. That's annoying me. But Evil Within 2 and another game I put in pre-orders for, but they were fucking me about, so I decided to cancel those pre-orders. And I decided to just have a little look through the games that they had anyway. And this one popped out, and I thought it looked really interesting. And that is The Town of Light. I don't know much about this game. You play as a 16-year-old girl who suffers from the symptoms of mental illness. So it's through her eyes, basically. So the whole game's a little bit twisted. It's dark. It's kind of I think it's like a horror. It looks kind of creepy anyway. So, The Town of Light. Definitely going to look forward to getting into that when I get an opportunity, so it's good. And last one, I picked this up off of eBay. I don't know why I picked this up. It was cheap, I think, and I thought it it's going to be one of those games I think is going to be a little bit quirky come time. I have one called Ether 1. I actually got that pre-ordered and it came obviously when it was released, but I think in time that one might be one of those ones that's going to be a little rarer, but I think this may be up there as well. It's come off the spindle, but I've kind of got a knack of putting them back in now. See if I can get it back on the spindle. Hey, it's back on the spindle. So yeah, Joe's Diner. Yeah, you play as a diner owner, I believe, or somebody working a shift in a diner that is on top of like a former Indian burial ground. We've all seen the horror films and read the horror stories about shit like that, so it'll be cool to play a game like that. It's got terrible reviews. You know, it's just one of those. It was cheap. I don't think I spent much more than like a tenner on it, to be fair. Off of, I think it was eBay or Amazon. I can't really remember. But yeah, fuck it, you know, Joe's Diner. So that's that. So that's the PS4 games out of the way. I'm kind of rushing through this video, guys, due to failing light, as you'll probably be able to tell in the video quality. But yeah, so those 4 PS4 games in the collection. So that's all alright. That's good stuff. Awesome. Okay, right. Moving on swiftly. I've got one 3DS game to show you, actually. This was actually off of Facebook, but I'll just include it in this video now. This guy was selling a bunch of 3DS games. There's one 3DS game I was interested in getting, and he had it, so I picked it up, and that is Rodea, the Sky Soldier. I wanted to get this on the Wii, but, you know, the 3DS is not bad. I haven't picked up much 3DS games, like, in ages. I don't really have much interest in the system. I don't actually have much interest in the 3DS, DS, any of those kind of systems, to be fair. You know, the older handheld systems for me is where it's at. I just think the quality of the games is really bad. There's so much shovelware on those systems. I think the 3DS is slightly better than the DS, obviously, but in terms of like game quality and stuff, it's got a lot better titles for the system itself. But I think, you know, for the DS, it's just way too much shovelware, and it kind of put me off it a little bit. And the fact that they're releasing like a new 3DS and all these kinds of shit, the 2DS. You know, I can't be fucking done with it. So, but I got this game because I was interested in trying it out. So, Rodea, the Sky Soldier, I think I paid like £12 for that. So that wasn't too bad. Right, next we are going to go for... Oh, another CD. Completely forgot about this one. Due to my hugely unsuccessful Queen collection videos, leave a comment below if you want to see a part 3. They're just bombing, they're not getting any views at all, so I kind of just like lost faith in uploading them. But if you guys want to see any more, let me know in the comments below, like I said. I may think about putting that on Facebook, just doing that. So I'll upload like part 1 and 2 on Facebook, just so they're all there. And then just sort of going through it every now and again. If anybody wants to check them out, again, link below. But this one is Queen Golden Demos, 1973 to 76. I was on eBay and I just, you know, happened, because I was doing the Queen videos, I was quite interested in checking some more Queen stuff out. Seeing if there was anything else that was up there that was cheap that I didn't have, and this was there, so boom. This was like $9.99, so cannot complain. Really nice disc in there, and it's got some pretty good songs in here. See What a Fool I've Been, which was their first B-side. Keep Yourself Alive, which is awesome. Father to Son, Killer Queen, Misfire, Tenement Funster, all these really early Queen tracks, you know, just absolute quality. So I love early Queen, so that's great. So I've got that in the collection now. And yeah, so that's that. Right, a bunch of PS1 games. Again, a Facebook pickup, but for some reason I'm including it in this video. I think I've actually got quite a few things for our Facebook pickups, to be fair, so kind of forgive me on that score. But yeah, this was just one bundle. It was an auction. I think I won it for like £13 or something. £13 postage, so I couldn't really argue. We've got Elemental Pinball. Gotta love a pinball game, you know, and that's complete. So yeah, ain't gonna argue. So that's pretty cool. So Elemental Pinball. Next we have Driver 2, Back in the Streets. This is in really good condition. I think this is much better than mine, so mine will be up for trade or sale. G-Police, which I have had the box for ever since it came out, but it had army men and little soldiers in there. So yeah, for whatever reason, it just, you know, just didn't work. So I never actually had the game itself, so now I have. So I will be checking that out, and it's in really good condition. Quite happy with this lot, to be fair, and especially for this game. It's Dino Crisis. It's Resident Evil with dinosaurs. You know, there's nothing else that you can really say about that. It's probably, in some respects, creepier than Resident Evil. I think it's just because I played Resident Evil to death, and Dino Crisis just is creepy because, you know, I'm not used to it. But yeah, it's a really good game. But I already have this, so if anybody wants it, let me know, and we can start work something out. So yes, that's PS1 games. £13 for them. Bargain, as far as I'm concerned. Right, we're going to end the video on the bunch of Atari games. It's because we have like a fuck ton. So I'm going to do the Master System games now, and then we'll end the video on the Atari. I know I usually do the Master System games last, but there isn't a lot, so we'll do that. So first up, probably the most common out of the three, is Wonder Boy in Monster World. This is a Classics edition. Yeah, not bad. Happy to have that, and the reason I'm like over the moon to have that is because this has got the manual, as you've just seen. The one that I have, which is the standard release, doesn't have the manual, so I'll take the manual out of this one, put it in there, and just try and source another manual at some other time, or I may just get this game again because it's actually cheap. So I got this, I think it was like £20 for that, which isn't too bad, to be fair, because it can go for over 30, so I'm really pleased to have that in the collection. So that's my second Classics game. Not in mint condition. It's a little bit sun faded on the sleeve, but I think trying to find these in good condition just because of the colours and stuff is really tough. So, you know, you kind of got to take a hit with that. Next up, we have a game I've been trying to get forever, but it just for whatever reason just took forever to find a decent condition copy of it. So that game is Phantasy Star. I'm so happy to have this, but I cannot remember what I paid for it. It was cheap as chips. It really was. I think it was like £18 or something. It was very cheap. And that's why I just pounced all over it. I didn't even bother looking at the condition. It was complete. I thought, I'm having that. So yeah, Phantasy Star. All complete aroo. The manual, I will need to replace that, to be fair. The staples have kind of rusted. You know, but other than that, the manual's not in bad condition. It's slightly yellowed below, because it's a European release. Which is obviously what I'm after. So I'm really pleased to get that in the collection. So it's Phantasy Star in the collection, out the way, not sun faded at all, really good colours there. And yeah, over the moon with that, so it's great. And the last one, I spent a bit on this one, to be fair. I spent quite a bit of money here. But I'm not too annoyed, because this goes for a lot more than what I paid for it. I spent £99.99 on this, and it's not something that pops up often. The German version does, but the English version doesn't. It's not the card of Great Soccer, by the way, it's not that one. It is the Pro Action Replay for the Master System. So this is the English one. Really happy to get it. I was bidding on a few things this guy was selling. He was selling a load of really cool stuff like Power Strike 2, Smurfs 2, which I was keeping an eye on. I will be getting them at some stage. It'll be next year now before I get them, but I will be getting them. But this one, it was one of the ones I was going to pick up sort of last once I got all the games, and then I was just going to sort of like put all my efforts into trying finding this. But it came up for just under a penny under £100, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. I think I missed out on Power Strike 2 by like 50 quid, so I was a bit annoyed at that. So I just thought, fuck it, spend the money that I had sort of pushed aside for that on this, and I picked it up. It's not in the best condition. It doesn't close properly. It's a bit tough to see if it's sun faded on the side. I'm not too sure. I don't think it is, but yeah, let's have a look on the inside. So on the inside, we've obviously got the cart, which is in pretty good nick, to be fair. Not mint, you know, and for the price I paid for it, I wouldn't be expecting it to be. But yeah, really pleased to get that with the switches on the side. That's fucking awesome. So yeah, and I have tested it and it does work, so can't argue with that. And it's got all the codes and stuff. So it's got the ultimate game busting cartridge sort of leaflet thing, and this is sort of like the manual, so it tells you what to do, how to use it, that kind of thing. Water damaged a little bit, which is a shame, and loads of codes to use for it. So yeah, can't argue. Really pleased. So it's sort of codes like that. You know, it's great. You know, I'm happy to have it in the collection. A load of Sonic 2 codes, actually. Psycho Fox Rampage, yeah, that would be a good one to use. So yeah. So sun faded and slightly water damaged leaflets. That's why it was so cheap. And you'll be sitting there going, cheap? £100? I don't think so. Yeah, cheap. Well, it sort of does close once you put the leaflets in properly, but yeah, this can go for over 150, close to £200 in absolutely mintaroo condition. So this will do for now. This will do until I get a better condition copy of it. But I'm more than happy with this, to be fair. If I never find another one again, this will do me. That's, I'm more than happy with that. So, that's Master System out of the way, and the Pro Action Replay, which I'm delighted to get out of the way, to be fair. But like I say, if I find another one, better condition, then I'll get it. But I'm in no rush now, because I have it, so that's good. So that's a rare one, chalked off the list. And the English one doesn't pop up often, so I'm pleased with that. Right, moving on to loads of Atari 2600 cartridges. I mean, this is probably the biggest Atari 2600. I've got over 20 cartridges here, so we're just going to fire through them, really. Pac-Man, fucking awful game in the Atari, but there we go. Missile Command, pleased to get that. Math Grand Prix, they obviously couldn't fit the D in there, but yeah, Math Grand Prix. The ever famous Space Invaders. Yep, boom, can't go wrong with that Space Invaders. Defender, which is a great game, but it's missing the end label, which is really going to bug me, so I'm going to need to go and get another one. Video Pinball, it's pinball. Brain Games, because you just have to. Sometimes your brain needs some exercise. Sometimes it does. Reactor, Tutankhamun. Would it have been that much about Tutankhamun? Yar's Revenge. A little bit loose, but yeah, not bad. And it's got the end label, so again, that is an absolute bonus. Right, this is a quirky one. I've never heard of this one. Quest for Quintana Roo. I have no idea. It's cool. It's got like little grips on the back. Gives you instructions on how to use it. I mean, you don't really need instructions for that. It's not like rocket science. It's Atari. You plug it in. There you go. Job done. Double Dunk. Basketball. Sprint Master. Not bad. Right. We've had Pac-Man. We need the misses. Miss Pac-Man. Cool. One of my favourite Atari 2600 games. I'm so happy to get this. This is actually one of the reasons I sold my initial Atari 2600 games. I was gutted because this game was in it and I really love playing it. And that is Berserk. I absolutely love Berserk in the Atari. I don't know, there's something about the game, I just absolutely love it. Pole Position. Can't go wrong with that. Star Raiders. Because, it's ace as fuck. It's a space game on the Atari. I think they actually work quite well on the Atari, to be fair. Right, Galaxian, because you can't have too much shooters. Jungle Hunt with half missing end label, which is an arse, to be fair, but shit happens. Right, we're getting down to probably the better Atari 2600 games now. To be fair, I'm actually really excited with these ones. So I'll just show you these ones, these two. I've actually got 5 I'm actually really happy with. Gorf. This isn't one of them. It's alright. It's probably the best condition one I could find. Dodgem, which I definitely will be replacing at some stage, but it's a shame because it's got a really good end label on it. I kind of just stack them like that anyway, so it's not like I'm ever going to see the damage up here. I might just keep it. We'll see. I don't know. But the end labels are going to be the thing about the Atari 2600. Don't care about a box. Don't really care about a manual. As long as the end label's good and not sun faded, I'm happy as fucking chips. Right, moving on to probably the better ones out of this lot. I'm not too sure about a couple of them, but I think they probably would be. First up is Frogs and Flies. No, fuck all about that. I just really like the cart itself. I'm not even sure if it's actually for the Atari. The sort of design looks maybe a bit more in television. But even so, fucking cool to have anyway. I really like it. So, Frogs and Flies. Next we have Star Voyager. I really like that pulley thing. I think that's really cool. Probably again. Well, it's for use with the Atari video game system, so that's not too bad. So yeah, Star Voyager. I love the fucking retro colouring on these things. I love it, man. This just totally brings me back to my childhood. It's fucking great. Last three definitely are Atari 2600. happy to announce. First we have Vanguard, which I've never heard of, and these actually, the last 2 games, including this and the next 2 games and the rest of the shit I have, actually came out of somebody's loft. He just posted it on eBay. He just found it in his loft, posted it on eBay, and I was the winning bidder. These games that you've just seen, back to Frogs and Flies, Star Voyager, and the rest of the shit, cost about £30. But yeah, Vanguard, know nothing about that game. Right, so moving on, we have, I'm not sure which ones to show first, to be fair. We have the ever awesome, and I will stick to that because I think it's good, E.T. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I think it's a good game. It's not a bad game. It's got a really good end label on it. It's not bad. I don't know why it gets such a bad fucking rap. I think it's a good game. It's not a great movie tie-in kind of game, but it's a good game. I enjoy it for what it is. And last is Sword Quest Earthworld. Now, I know there was a whole series about Sword Quest, and I know AVGN covered it in his videos. He covered the whole competition that was going on with Atari 2600 at the time with the Sword Quest series. You got some awesome prizes. It was a bit like the Nintendo World Championships. You know how you got like a gold cart and like a silver cart. The gold cart was actually a meal away. But Sword Quest, you actually got like jewel encrusted crowns and fucking rubies and shit. You got tons of stuff. A jewel encrusted sword. What else did you get? You got like a big jade stone thing with loads of jewels and stuff for winning these competitions. That's fucking mental. So the Sword Quest games, for that reason alone, are very collectible. There's only 3 of them. There's supposed to be 4. I believe the last one was Air World, I think. Was it Earth World? Water World, Fire World, and I think it was Air. I'm not too sure, actually. But one of them never got released. But yeah, Sword Quest, Earth World. So that's pretty cool. And I got loads of manuals. So I'll just go through the manuals. If I can get into the fucking thing. So I can't even get into it now. So yeah, this was all in a guy's loft. I mean, that's a pretty fucking cool loft find, to be fair. I need to get in my loft, actually. I've not been in there since the early 90s, and I'm kind of wondering what happened to my first Nintendo. So if it's still in there, I'll be happy with that. The Brain Games instruction actually came with the game. I just popped it in there because I like the sleeve. So we have Star Voyager instruction manual, Frogs and Flies, and it'll probably tell us if it's Atari on here. Atari, yeah, Atari Incorporated, so it must be. Mind you, that could still be in television, could it? Yeah. Oh man, I love these instruction manuals. I think they're great. Right, we got an Atari catalogue, 49 game program cartridges. Oh, this is cool. This is like an early catalogue for games. Oh, wicked. I'm going to read through this actually. That's cool. That's not bad. Right, we got tips on getting ET home fast. So this is like a leaflet for the game. How to control ET. Maybe this is probably the manual or something, is it? I don't actually know. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Now here's a manual. ET. Not bad. Oh. ET. Pretty cool. Next we've got, Sword Quest Earthworld. Nice to have the manual for that. See if anybody's sort of filled this in with codes or whatever. Because I know it was all about codes. Really, really good manual actually. Man, I wish I was back in the games back then. I wish I was born earlier so I could have been in the games then. Pretty cool. Awesome. Fucking ace is that. Here we go. Atari Sword Quest Challenge Earthworld Contest. And that's a sort of application form thing there. That's really cool to have that actually. I never knew that was in there. That's pretty awesome. And we have the Sword Quest comic book. Now this is part of it. The codes are actually in here. You need to read through this and sort of pick out the codes. So you get like an actual comic book. This is really good actually. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. But yeah, I think the game refers to like pages in sort of paragraphs or something. And the codes are there for you to actually type in. That's really good. I'm really pleased that's in there. That's really, really good. And a manual for Vanguard. So that's awesome. So that's absolutely everything, guys. You're now fully caught up with all the stuff that I've picked up. Let me know what you think in the comments below about all the stuff I got here. I am really happy with all this. God, sorry. especially the Atari games, and obviously the Master System stuff's really good. That sort of plugs in gaps I have in my collection. Don't have much to go in the Master System, to be fair. I really don't. I'm getting there now. So yeah, I'm delighted with that. Thanks very much for watching. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Hopefully I'll have more Atari games. I think the more I speak about Atari and the more like games I show, I'm really interested in picking up more. So I may actually go and do that. I may actually try and get some manuals as well. That's really cool to have the Sword Quest comic book in there. That's really awesome. But anyway, take it easy and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. I can't speak today. Fuck it. Bye.